Good day, viewers. Welcome back to the Preaching Humanist with David Oliverio. That is I. All right, one more episode. I'm going to talk about the quote from Sam Harris's book. Our beliefs define our vision of the world. They dictate our behavior, and they determine our emotional responses to other people. They, our beliefs, define our vision of the world and our worldview. So let's talk about the worldview. Evangelical Christians, other people from different religions that believe in spiritualism, even New Age spiritualism. Just got finished doing an episode, or 2 episodes, on that. And I'm going to make a very bold statement here, but this comes from lots and lots of experience, personal experience, my past being a Christian preacher, and the last many years of activism, going out there talking to people that continue to hold on to spiritual supernaturalism and beliefs. Spiritual and supernatural beliefs promote. Now we get some flack on this, but that's okay. Because these belief systems promote a very, very cynical, yes, an anti-human nature worldview. When one has the God glasses on, especially the extreme right evangelical, and even New Age people that hold on to higher powers, these beliefs do promote cynicism, an anti-human worldview. Now, how do I know that? I'm going to show you, after 2 or 3 examples that I've had with people, I'm going to show you where these beliefs come from, why human nature is held at such low regard, and how most people still believe they need to believe in a higher power to get through this life and to be good people. Number one, let me use as an example, I had a client of mine not long ago who's an older woman, very sweet lady, but she's an evangelical Christian. She told me that they had a visiting evangelist in town, and he talked about the child sex trafficking, which does occur. I know it occurs, and it's a horrible thing. She went on to say that this particular preacher was telling her people at a particular church that this is a very common thing, that there's a high percentage of men in America that would call these toll-free numbers to order boys and girls. We're talking 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old boys and girls for sex. So she said that this preacher claims that it's a truism, that he has fact and overwhelming evidence and verifications that many, many men during the Super Bowl halftime go and order boys and girls for sex. Now, we're not talking about consensual adult sex. If it's for consensual adult sex, go for it, right? But against the will of a child, this is very immoral, unethical. We would all agree on that. So I asked the lady, I said, well, let me ask you a question. What do you think the percentage of adult males in America are who would literally, during the halftime of Super Bowl, call a toll-free number and order an 8, 9, or 10-year-old boy or girl for sex? What do you think the percentage of men are in America that would do such a horrific thing? No, kid you not. She looked me in the eye and she said, my preacher, or this evangelist said, 35 to 40% of American males would do this with no problem. Now, I told her, I don't believe that. I told her that I know this stuff goes on, it does occur, but to that degree, no. I would say maybe 1, 2%. And they have to be pretty sick. They would have to have a lot of emotional problems to do something that bad. But where does this idea that so many people are this bad come from? Number 2, a few weeks ago, Christine and I went to a wedding. I was an usher there. And a sweet young lady got married in a Baptist church. My daughter, 33-year-old daughter, came down from Dallas. She's a Christian, but a more liberal Christian. So Christine, my daughter, and I sat in this church, and I had to put up with listening to a young Baptist preacher during the sermon degrade human nature. telling everyone there that without Jesus, none of us would be good. Humans are evil to the core. The only way to escape the wrath of God is through Jesus and so forth. The same old story and of the gospel message of the Bible. And that did disturb me. Most people there took the browbeating and continued to smile, thinking that they escaped the wrath of God. So where does this idea come from, that human nature is so bad, so evil, and this idea of cynicism? One more example. I do listen to Christian radio. Some of my atheist friends are like, why would you do that, David? I like to know what's going on. I like to hear the lies that are said about we atheists from the Christian right, and I like to know what they're saying and so forth. Well, I heard a preacher, a couple weeks ago on the radio, telling his congregation, he said, it's time we tell the truth. You must be able, to his sheep, to take a child, a boy or girl, and sit that boy or girl on your lap. It'd be like me putting my 4-year-old granddaughter or my 6-year-old grandson on my lap. The preacher said, you should be able to look that little child in the eye. Don't wink, don't doubt, and tell them 4 things. Be honest with them. Number 1, you, little child, are guilty. You're guilty. I could see my little granddaughter saying, oh, Papa, what did I do? Exactly. What did you do? Number 1, you tell that child they're guilty. Number 2, you tell them they're sinful. You're sinful. Wow. Number 3, tell them they're lost. Number 4, tell them that it's their responsibility to choose Jesus, to escape the wrath of God. This is major cynicism, and this is a major anti-human nature belief system. Where the hell do they get this idea? Now, I'm going to say this boldly, that if it were not for these books, these primitive books, about 80 to 90% of this cynicism and this disregard for humanity will be gone. Because a lot of us who study science, who believe in reality, understand, yes, humans can be bad, but most of us know to be good, right? To be moral and to be ethical. Where does this idea come from? Well, look no further right here in the Bible. Psalm 14, let me read it instead of quote it, right here. A fool has said in his heart, there is no God. How many times have I heard this from the Christian right when I'm out with activism talking to pastors or believers? They use the scripture a lot. Well, I can say, oops, my bad. Jesus said in the red letter Gospels of the New Testament, whoever calls another person a fool shall be in danger of hellfire. Oops, my bad. Little contradiction there. So here's what it says. They, who? Those who do not believe in God, according to the Bible, are corrupt. They have committed abominable deeds. There is no one who does good. No one. That's heavy-duty cynicism. Verse 3, we who do not believe in God, have all turned aside together. They become corrupt. There's no one who does good, not even one. And even worse, Paul the Apostle takes it further, allegedly, in chapter 3 of Romans, verse 13. Their throat, we who do not believe, is an open grave. With their tongues they deceive. These are major accusations. The poison of asp is under their lips. Wow. Our mouths are full of cursing and bitterness. Hey, this can be tested. Hang out with me and my buddies who are atheists, and let's see if any of this is true. These are false accusations and lies. Their feet are swift to shed blood. Come on. Destruction and misery are in their paths, and the path of peace they have not known. Wow, lots of lies. So where, again, does this idea come from? Where does this belief system come from that humans are so incapable of being good? You need a God, you need a higher power to be good and moral. It comes from these primitive belief systems. That's why I believe that these belief systems are detrimental to humanity and a major impediment to we as a species of progressing and moving on. We don't need this stuff. So I will continue to speak out against these beliefs. Remember the quote, our beliefs define our vision of the world, right here. They dictate our behavior, and they determine our emotional responses to other human beings. Have a wonderful day.